Right now, something is quietly working against you. It doesn't care how clean your diet looks. It doesn't care how many workouts you push through. And it definitely doesn't care how badly you want a flat stomach. This is why belly fat feels different. This is why it's the last place to change. And this is why so many people feel stuck, frustrated, and confused even when they're doing everything right. You cut calories, you walk more, you train harder. Yet the belly stays, not because you're lazy, not because you're undisciplined, but because your body is following rules most people never learn about. And until you fix one specific problem, belly fat simply will not move. That's the truth. No one tells you. Crunches won't solve it. More cardio won't solve it. Even eating less won't solve it. In fact, those things often make it worse. And that's where this video matters. Because today, you're gonna learn what actually blocks belly fat loss, why your body holds onto fat around your waist even when you're trying hard, and what needs to change first before any diet or workout can finally work. This isn't motivation. This isn't hype. This is about how your body really works behind the scenes. Belly fat is not just stored energy, it's a signal tied to stress, hormones, blood sugar, and survival. When that signal is turned on, your body protects belly fat at all costs. You could be in a calorie deficit and still see no change. You could exercise every day and still feel bloated and soft around the middle. That's not failure. That's biology. And once you understand that, everything starts to make sense. In this video, you'll learn why targeting belly fat directly never works, what invisible internal switch decides whether your body burns fat or stores it, and why fixing this one thing first can unlock results that felt impossible before. You'll also learn why so many popular fat loss strategies backfire, slow progress, and keep people stuck in the same cycle for years. This knowledge changes how you see food. It changes how you see yourself, and it changes how you see yourself, because the real problem was never effort, it was direction. Most people are pushing harder when they should be fixing the system. And when the system is broken, effort only creates more stress. More stress means more belly fat. That's the loop almost everyone is trapped in. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly what that loop looks like, how it starts, and how to break it in a realistic way that works with your body instead of against it. This isn't about extreme plans or quick fixes. It's about understanding the root cause so results finally stick. And there's a reason you should watch this all the way through, because the most important part isn't the problem, it's the shift that comes after. Most videos stop at surface level advice. This one doesn't. It connects the dots most people miss, the kind of details that explain why two people can eat the same food, do the same workouts, and get completely different results. The kind of details that explain why your body might be resisting fat loss right now, even if your habits look perfect on paper. Once you see this clearly, you can't unsee it. And suddenly, belly fat stops being mysterious. It becomes predictable, and predictable problems have solutions. So stay with me, because what you're about to hear could save you months, even years, of wasted effort and frustration. If fat loss has ever felt unfair, confusing, or out of your control, this video will explain why. And if you're ready to stop guessing and start understanding your body at a deeper level, you're in the right place. Welcome to the channel, where we break down real body science in a way that actually makes sense. If this kind of honest, practical content matters to you, make sure you subscribe so you don't miss what's coming next. Belly fat feels different because it is different. It does not behave like fat on your arms, legs, or face. You can lose weight and still see your stomach look the same. You can eat less, move more, and feel lighter, yet the belly stays soft and stubborn. This is where confusion begins. Most people think fat is just stored energy that melts away when you burn more calories than you eat. That idea sounds logical, but it misses something important. Belly fat is not only about calories, It is deeply connected to how your body feels on the inside. Your body is always sending signals. These signals decide whether fat gets burned or stored. The belly listens to these signals more than any other area. That is why it holds on longer. This is also why quick fixes rarely work. Belly fat is not just sitting there waiting to be burned, it is responding to internal messages related to safety, stress, and balance. When those messages are off, your body treats belly fat like an emergency reserve. It protects it, it defends it, and it resists letting it go. Many people try to fight this by targeting the belly directly. They do more ab exercises. They hold planks longer. They add crunches at the end of every workout. But the belly does not work like a muscle you can spot fix. You cannot tell your body where to lose fat first. That idea has been sold for years, but it has never matched how the body actually works. Fat loss happens system-wide. The body chooses where to pull fat from based on internal conditions, not effort focused on one area. The belly is usually the last place because it is tied to survival signals. This is why someone can have visible muscle strength and still carry belly fat on top. The muscle may be there, but the fat stays because the internal environment tells the body it is not safe to let it go yet. This is where hormones come in. Hormones are chemical messengers. They control hunger, energy, fat storage, and fat release. Two hormones matter more than most people realize when it comes to belly fat. One is insulin. The other is cortisol. Insulin's main job is to manage blood sugar. When you eat, insulin rises to help move sugar from the blood into cells. That process is normal. The problem starts when insulin stays high too often. When insulin is high, your body is in storage mode. It is focused on storing energy, not burning it. Fat burning slows down. Belly fat in particular becomes protected. Even if you are eating fewer calories, high insulin can block fat release. Your body simply refuses to tap into stored fat efficiently. Cortisol works differently, but it leads to a similar result. Cortisol is known as the stress hormone. It rises when your body feels pressure. That pressure does not have to be emotional stress alone. Lack of sleep, intense workouts, extreme dieting, and constant fatigue can all raise cortisol. Cortisol's job is to keep you alive during hard times. When cortisol stays high for too long, your body shifts into protection mode. One of the ways it protects itself is by storing fat around the belly. The belly area has more cortisol receptors than many other areas. That means stress signals hit the belly harder. The body stores fat there because it is quick access energy for survival. This is not a flaw. It is an old survival mechanism that no longer fits modern life. When insulin is high and cortisol is high at the same time, fat loss becomes extremely difficult. This is the real blocker, not a lack of discipline, not a lack of workouts, not a lack of motivation. The body is simply following signals. If those signals say danger, stress, or instability, the body chooses storage over burning. That is why people can feel like they are fighting their own body, because in a way they are trying to force fat loss while their hormones are pushing in the opposite direction. This is also why diet alone is not enough. Many people believe that eating less is always the answer. When results slow down, they cut more calories. When that stops working, they cut even more. At first, the scale might move, some weight might drop, but over time, progress stalls, energy drops, hunger increases, mood changes, sleep gets worse, and belly fat stays. Extreme dieting sends a strong signal to the body that food is scarce. Scarcity raises stress. Stress raises cortisol. Cortisol encourages fat storage. At the same time, eating too little can slow metabolism. The body adapts. It becomes more efficient. It burns fewer calories to protect itself. This adaptation is not a failure. It is a survival response. When metabolism slows, fat loss becomes harder even if calorie intake is low. The body starts holding on to fat because it does not trust that food will be available consistently. Belly fat becomes even more protected. This is why people who diet aggressively often regain weight later, sometimes more than before. The body remembers the stress. It stays cautious, it holds on tightly. This cycle creates frustration. People blame themselves. But the real issue is that the approach ignores how the body responds to pressure. Spot reduction myths make this worse. The idea that you can choose where fat disappears creates false expectations. When those expectations are not met, people push harder, more cardio, longer workouts, less food, less rest. All of this increases stress. All of this feeds the same hormonal environment that blocks belly fat loss. The harder someone tries in the wrong direction, the more stuck they feel. This is why belly fat often feels unfair, because effort alone does not solve a signal problem. Another overlooked piece is how often insulin spikes throughout the day. Constant snacking, frequent sugary foods, and refined carbs can keep insulin elevated for long periods. Even if total calories are not very high, frequent insulin spikes keep the body in storage mode. Fat burning windows become smaller. The body never fully switches into a state where it feels safe to release stored fat. Belly fat remains locked. This is not about eating perfectly. It is about understanding patterns. The body responds to consistency, not extremes. Sleep also plays a silent role here. Poor sleep raises cortisol and disrupts insulin sensitivity. When sleep is short or inconsistent, the body struggles to regulate blood sugar properly. Insulin rises more easily. Hunger increases. Cravings become stronger. Stress tolerance drops. All of these effects push the body toward fat storage, especially around the belly. Someone can eat well and train hard, but if sleep is poor, belly fat loss will be slow or non-existent. Again, this is not a willpower issue. It is a biological response. Exercise, when used incorrectly, can also add to the problem. Long, intense workouts every day without enough recovery can raise cortisol. This is especially true when combined with low-calorie intake. The body interprets this as physical stress with limited resources. Fat loss signals shut down. Muscle recovery slows. Belly fat stays. Movement is important, but the type, intensity, and timing matter more than most people realize. More is not always better. Better is better. All of these factors connect back to the same core issue. Belly fat is controlled by internal balance. When the body feels stable, safe, and supported, fat burning becomes easier. When the body feels threatened, rushed, or depleted, fat storage increases. Diet alone cannot fix this because food is only one part of the system. Cutting calories without fixing stress, sleep, and hormonal signals is like pressing the gas and the brake at the same time. The body does not move forward. It resists. This is why two people can follow the same diet and get completely different results. One person's body may feel safe and balanced. The other person's body may feel stressed and depleted. The first person burns fat. The second person holds on to it. Belly fat, being highly sensitive to stress and hormonal signals, shows this difference more clearly than any other area. That is why it becomes the most frustrating place to change. Understanding this changes the way you look at fat loss. It shifts the focus from forcing results to creating the right conditions. It explains why quick fixes fail and why patience paired with the right strategy works better. Belly fat is not stubborn because it is evil or broken. It is stubborn because it is protective. It responds to internal messages that most people never address. Until those messages change, the belly stays the same, and pushing harder only makes the body defend itself more. The fix starts when you stop fighting your body and start working with it. This is not about doing more. It is about doing the right things in the right order, so your body finally feels safe enough to let go of stored fat. The first change happens with hormones because hormones decide everything before calories ever matter. When sugar and refined carbs are high, insulin stays elevated. That keeps your body in storage mode. Fat stays locked in. The goal is not to remove carbs completely or live in restriction. The goal is to reduce constant spikes. Sugary drinks, packaged snacks, white breads, and processed foods hit the bloodstream fast and hard. They push insulin up again and again throughout the day. When that happens, your body never fully switches into fat burning mode. By lowering sugar and refined carbs, insulin levels calm down. Blood sugar becomes more stable. Energy becomes more even. Hunger becomes more predictable. And slowly your body becomes more willing to use stored fat instead of protecting it. This shift alone can change how your body responds to food without forcing you to eat less and less. At the same time, stress must be addressed because stress is not just mental, it is physical, hormonal, and constant for many people. Chronic stress keeps cortisol elevated. Cortisol sends a signal that something is wrong. When that signal stays active for too long, the body looks for safety. One of the ways it creates safety is by storing fat around the belly. This is why stress and belly fat are so closely connected. The body believes it needs quick energy access. Reducing stress does not mean removing all pressure from life. It means lowering the background noise that keeps your nervous system stuck in fight mode. Simple actions matter here. Slow breathing tells the body it is not in danger. Short walks calm the nervous system and reduce cortisol naturally. Quiet moments without stimulation allow stress hormones to drop. Meditation is not about clearing your mind. It is about slowing your body down enough to change the signal. Even a few minutes a day can make a difference. When cortisol comes down, the belly no longer receives a constant message to store fat. Sleep plays a deeper role than most people realize. Poor sleep changes hormones in ways that directly block fat loss. When sleep is short or inconsistent, cortisol rises, insulin sensitivity drops, hunger hormones shift, cravings increase, decision-making weakens. The body becomes more reactive and less efficient. Fat loss slows, especially around the belly. Consistent sleep creates hormonal stability. Going to bed and waking up around the same time helps regulate internal clocks. 7 to 8 hours allows the body to repair, rebalance, and reset signals. During good sleep, stress hormones drop and fat-burning hormones rise. This is not optional for belly fat loss. Sleep is not rest time. It is active recovery that prepares the body to burn fat the next day. Movement must also change, but not in the way most people expect. Endless cardio is not the answer. Long workouts every day can raise stress and increase cortisol, especially when combined with low calories. Strength training sends a different message. Building muscle increases resting metabolism. Muscle tissue uses energy even when you are not moving. That raises daily calorie burn without stress. Strength training also improves insulin sensitivity. The body becomes better at handling carbohydrates. Blood sugar stays more stable. Fat burning improves. Cardio still has a place, but it should support recovery, not replace it. Walking lowers stress while burning calories. Short bursts of higher intensity movement can improve conditioning without overloading the system. The key is balance. Movement should leave you feeling better, not drained. AB exercises can strengthen muscles, but they do not decide where fat disappears. Belly fat responds to the system, not isolated effort. All of these changes work together. Lower sugar intake reduces insulin spikes. Lower insulin allows fat to be released. Reduced stress lowers cortisol. Lower cortisol removes the signal to store belly fat. Better sleep supports both insulin and cortisol balance. Strength training builds muscle that increases daily energy use. Walking and smart cardio improve circulation and stress control. None of these steps work well alone. Together, they change the environment inside your body. And when the environment changes, the body responds naturally. This is why the fix works. When insulin is lower and more stable, the body becomes willing to burn stored fat instead of guarding it. Fat cells can finally release energy. When cortisol is lower, the belly stops receiving constant storage signals. The body no longer feels like it is under threat. Sleep improves hormone balance, so the body can make better decisions automatically. Muscle increases energy demand throughout the day, not just during workouts. The body burns more calories even at rest. Fat loss becomes a side effect of balance, not a forced outcome. This approach is not fast. It is not dramatic. It does not promise overnight change, but it works because it respects how the body is designed. Quick fixes create stress. Stress blocks fat loss. This approach reduces stress at every level. It teaches the body that it is safe, supported, and stable. When that message becomes consistent, the body stops clinging to belly fat. Results appear gradually, but they last. This is not about perfection. It is about direction. Small improvements repeated daily matter more than extreme actions taken briefly. You do not need to fix everything at once. Each step sends a signal. Each signal shifts the system. Over time, those shifts add up. Belly fat responds when the body trusts the process. And once that trust is built, progress no longer feels like a fight. This is not about quick wins. It is about teaching your body how to work again. When you fix the internal signals first, everything else becomes easier. Hunger becomes manageable. Energy becomes steady. Workouts feel productive instead of exhausting. Fat loss stops feeling random. The body starts cooperating. And when that happens, belly fat finally begins to change in a way that feels natural, predictable, and sustainable. What you learned today isn't about trying harder. It's about fixing the real reason results weren't showing up before. Once you understand how your body works, everything becomes simpler and more controllable. And that's exactly what this channel is about. If this video helped you see belly fat differently, make sure you hit the like button so more people can learn this too. Drop a comment saying fixed it if you're ready to change the way you approach fat loss for good. And if you know someone who's stuck, frustrated, or blaming themselves, share this video with them. It might be the missing piece they need. Subscribe to the channel because the next video breaks down how to track progress the right way without obsession, stress, or confusion. This is where real change starts.